Good morning, students. I'm Ram Reddy Sangala, lecturer in physics, Nupatanga Junior College, an aided institution at Kachiguda. Today, we are going to discuss magnetism and matter. Before we start discussing, let me recollect whatever we discussed in the earlier chapter. Why? Because magnetism, as part of moving charges, we discussed in the previous chapter. You might have learnt it. Before we jump into the actual topic, that's a magnetism and matter, that is the Ayaskantatvamu Dravyam. So a few words, okay, to motivate you, okay, so because it's being telecasted across state. So hope you are doing well in the COVID situation. Stay safe at your homes. Don't go around unnecessarily, so especially crowded places. If it is unavoidable, so take all necessary precautions like so wearing mask, physical distances, sanitization, etc. But better you avoid, because healthy mind in healthy body. So take care of your health. ఓకే, సో ముందు యాక్చువల్ టాపిక్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేసే ముందు సో 4 మంచి మాటలు చెప్పుకుందాం. సో టు మోటివేట్ యూ. సో సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్ నెవర్ డూ డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్స్, బట్ దే డూ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ మేనర్. అంటే విజయవంతమైన పర్సన్స్ ఎవరైనా కానీ వాళ్ళు ప్రత్యేకమైన పనులు ఏం చేయరు, అందరు చేసే పనులే చేస్తారు, కానీ చేసే విధానంలో ప్రత్యేకత చూపిస్తారు. సో మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, 99 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆర్ డ్యూ టు 1% నెగ్లిజెన్స్ అండ్ కేర్లెస్నెస్. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ కేర్ఫుల్, definitely you can avoid 99% problems. Okay, with these few words, so if you are careful, you can avoid 99% of problems. Let it be academic aspect, any other aspect, any other field, sports, games, or any academic fields, entrepreneurship, or anything. So if you are careful, certainly you can avoid 99% problems. Okay, so before we jump into the topic, so let me tell you very popular Einstein formula, mass energy equivalent formula, that is E is equal to mc square. It is very popularly known after Einstein. You are familiar with it, I know. So here mass and energy are interconvertible. This revolutionized this many industries. But so Einstein was awarded Nobel Prize for interpreting photoelectric effects successfully using Planck's quantum theory. Yo, analogy to this, just to motivate you, you just remember E is equal to LP square. Here E represents here, if you want to excel any field, not only academic field, for that matter, sports, games, or entrepreneurship, or banking, or any sector, whatever sector or field you choose, if you want to excel, if you want to be outstanding, you have to learn perfectly, learn the art perfectly, practice and perform. When the need arises, you have to perform. Let it be if you are student, in case of academics, you have to learn the academics subjects perfectly, you have to practice thoroughly, and then you have to perform on the day of examination. That leads to success. E is equal to LP square. If you want to excel, learn thoroughly, practice and perform. ఓకే, విత్ సో ఏ ఫీల్డ్లో అయినా మీరు ఎంచుకున్న రంగంలో మీరు సో సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అవ్వాలంటే సో మీరు పర్ఫెక్ట్గా నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఆ నేర్చుకున్న దాన్ని సాధన చేయాలి, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి. అప్పుడు సో మీరు అవసరం ఉన్నప్పుడు దాన్ని పర్ఫామ్ చేయాలి. యూ హ్యావ్ టు కన్వర్ట్ దట్ ఇంటూ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్. ఓకే, విత్ దిస్ ఫ్యూ వర్డ్స్, సో లెట్ మీ సో కమ్ టు ద టాపిక్. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ అసైన్ టు మీ, సో మ్యాగ్నెటిజం అండ్ మ్యాటర్. తెలుగులో దీన్ని అయస్కాంతత్వము, ద్రవ్యం. Okay, before we start discussing actual topic, there's a magnetism and matter as the subject of its own, we have to recollect, we have to so discuss and recollect, revise whatever we discussed in the previous chapter, that is moving charges and magnetism. So magnetism is so as part of moving charges we discussed in the earlier chapter. Hope you learned it thoroughly. So there, so just recollect. So moving charges constitute current. So this simple experiment, Oersted experiment, confirmed that when a current carrying wire behaves like a magnet and magnetic field is developed around it, you can check it, you can confirm it with the help of magnetic compass needle by keeping magnetic compass very close to the current carrying wire in the vicinity without touching. In fact, the magnetic compass needle gets deflected. This you already studied the importance of I-state experiments. Later, a current carrying wire behaves like a magnet. Magnetic field is developed around the current carrying conductor. Then using Ampere's law, Biot and Savart's law, we try to determine the intensity of magnetic induction field due to long straight current carrying wire, and then so zigzag manner, so bent wire using Biot and Savart's law. Then magnetic induction at the exactly the center of current carrying circular coil. Then solenoid, current carrying circular coil at any point on axial line, we determine magnetic induction field. This is very important. Why? Because in this chapter also it helps in understanding the concepts even in magnetism and matter. Hope you remember that. Just to recollect that, let me just remind you. So this a current carrying coil, so having radius r center and then r. So here P is any point at a distance x from the center of the coil. Then we will take current carrying elements dl, the diametrically opposite one more element, then magnetic induction field at point P due to these two elements. If you consider two diametrically opposite elements dl and then dl dash, something like this, then so both the components, that's a vertical component, there is a dB cos phi, this angle if you say phi, then both get cancelled out. This you already discussed in the previous chapter, but it's important. This we'll continue with this derivation. Okay, here horizontal components dB sin phi, they get added up. You already studied dB sin phi, both the components, that is the magnetic induction field constituted at point P due to both the current carrying elements diametrically opposite. The vertical component cancel each other, the horizontal components they get added up. The total magnetic induction field due to entire circular coil, current carrying circular coil, if you calculate it, then you will get this formula. We are not going to derive it. So mu 0 Ni r square, where r is the radius, and then 2 r square plus x square 3 by 2. This formula we already derived. Now if you make this x value 0, you will get magnetic induction field exactly at the center of current carrying circular coil. We already discussed. Using this we calculated so magnetic moment, because this circular coil, current carrying solenoid circular coil behaves like a magnet. Obviously it is associated with magnetic moment. Then we derived this expression magnetic moment NIA, where N is the total number of turns, I is the strength of the current, A is the area of the circular coil. This derivation is one of the important derivations. Then so revolving electron revolves. You are familiar in atoms, nucleus is at the center and the electrons revolve around the nucleus in various stationary orbits. You study a lot in chemistry as well as in one of the chapters in modern physics, the models, atomic models. Okay, here electron is a charged particle, so it is revolving in a circular path of radius r with some constant velocity v, let's say, with a speed v. Revolving electron constitute current. You know always, so moving charges constitute current. So then, so magnetic field is associated with it. Then the magnetic moment of revolving electron, we already discussed EVR by 2. So this expression magnetic induction at any point on axial line, from which we derive magnetic moment associated with current carrying solenoid and so revolving electron. Okay, orbiting electron, magnetic moment associated with all these things you are supposed to learn in the previous chapter thoroughly, isn't it? Okay, come back to the present topic. So all these are linked up with moving charges and magnetism, but this particular chapter right here, in this chapter we are going to discuss magnetism on its own. So మనం గత చాప్టర్ లో మనం డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నట్టుగా, సో ప్రీవియస్ చాప్టర్ లో అంటే కదిలే ఆవేశాలు, సో మ్యాగ్నెటిజం అయస్కాంతత్వంలో మనం ఆల్రెడీ చదువుకున్నాము. ఏంటంటే ఆంపియర్స్ లా, బైట్ అండ్ సవర్ట్స్ లా, వాటిని ఉపయోగించి అయస్కాంత తీవ్రతను ఒక కరెంట్ క్యారింగ్ వైర్ వల్ల వేరియస్ పొజిషన్ లో మనం మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఫీల్డ్ కనుక్కోవచ్చు అనమాట. అయితే అక్షీయ రేఖ వెంబడి సాలినాయిడ్ తీసుకుంటే అంటే కరెంట్ క్యారింగ్ సాలినాయిడ్ అక్షీయ రేఖ మీద ఏదైనా బిందు వద్ద మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఫీల్డ్ మనం ఈ ఫార్ములా మనం ఉత్పన్నం చేసుకున్నాం. ఇక్కడ ఎన్ అనేది టోటల్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ టర్న్స్, తీగ చుట్టాలు అంటే టర్న్స్ అనమాట. ఇది కరెంట్, స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ ఆర్ ఇస్ ద రేడియస్. వి ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ ఇట్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ ఫార్ములా. అయస్కాంత భ్రామకము, సో కరెంట్ ఫ్లవిస్తున్నటువంటి తీగ చుట్ట అక్షీయ బిందువు వద్ద, అక్షీయ రేఖ మీద ఉన్నటువంటి బిందువు వద్ద, సో ఎనీ బిందువు వద్ద మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ డిరైవ్ చేసి దాని నుంచి అయస్కాంత భ్రామకం మనం కనుక్కున్నాం. ఇక్కడ ఐ అనేది సో విస్తీర్ణం, కరెంట్, తర్వాత ఎన్ అనేది అన్ని తీగ చుట్టలో ఉన్నట్టు మొత్తం టర్న్స్ సంఖ్య అనమాట, రైట్. అలాగే ఎలక్ట్రాన్ పరిభ్రమిస్తున్న న్యూక్లియస్ చుట్టూ పరిభ్రమిస్తున్న ఎలక్ట్రాన్ చార్జ్డ్ పార్టికల్, నెగటివ్లీ చార్జ్డ్ పార్టికల్. సో మూవింగ్ చార్జెస్ కాన్స్టిట్యూట్ కరెంట్, వి నో వెరీ వెల్. మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అసోసియేటెడ్ విత్ ఇట్, దెన్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్, అయస్కాంత భ్రామకము, పరిభ్రమిస్తున్నటువంటి ఎలక్ట్రాన్ యొక్క అయస్కాంత భ్రామకం EVR/2. E అనేది ఆవేశం, ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఆవేశం, V అనేది వెలాసిటీ విత్ విచ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ పరిభ్రమించే ఆర్బిట్ లో పరిభ్రమించే వేగము, R అనేది రేడియస్. ఇది ఆల్రెడీ మనం గత చాప్టర్ లో మనం డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం. నౌ కమింగ్ టు ప్రెసెంట్ చాప్టర్, సో magnetism will get into, so magnetism, okay, magnetism and matter. This chapter will gradually so enter this chapter, so that is the ayaskantatvam, dravyam. Okay, fine. So magnetism, so quite fascinating and interesting to children as well as adults alike. So to begin with, it's a small, in fact it is a real story. So why magnet, the name is derived, so in fact it is derived from Magnesia, a small island in Greece where the magnetic ore is found in abundance, plenty. The shepherd boys, this is 1600 BC in fact. So the shepherd boys, when they had very tough time in going around this island, because their wooden shoe in fact with nails struck to the surface of the earth, as well as stones and even the metal pieces with axe, all those things, they were attracted towards the surface of the earth and these rocks. They were not aware of it. A very tough time in going around, moving around in this island. So they were just perturbed and disturbed because of all these things. Later it is due to the magnetic ore, magnetic material, which is found in abundance. Okay, so now that name is derived from the Magnesia, an island name, so magnet. So in olden days itself, sailors used to use this magnetic bar to show the directions while sailing in the ocean. This magnetic bar, freely suspended magnetic bar, it will always orient in north-south direction only. That directional property is used long ago by the sailors. Okay, so what are the familiar, so known facts about magnets and then magnetic theory and all those things. Okay, coming to the magnet and magnetic properties, these are familiar to us. So magnet, you know, it will have two poles, north pole and south pole. So just monopoles, if you divide into, make into small pieces, the individual piece also behaves like magnet. Suppose you make it into two pieces, so then this piece will have north pole and south pole, and then this one will have north and south pole. But so monopoles do not exist, isolated poles do not exist, right? Even you make into tiniest possible piece, the individual piece molecular level also behaves like magnet. Okay, so this is so very popular thing. Next, directive property, as already discussed just now. So if you suspend a magnetic needle, freely suspend magnetic needle, and then it will always orient north to south direction, roughly north south direction, directive property. Then interaction, if you take two poles, so then they will have interaction. If they are like poles, they repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. So governed by this formula, inverse square law, force between two magnetic poles directly proportional to product of masses and inversely proportional square of the distance. This force is a vector, it acts along the line joining the two magnetic poles. This you already studied in lower classes in school level itself. Okay, this is inverse square law. Monopoles do not exist, this we already discussed. Okay, so next one, interaction among these poles. So force So bounded by this force of interaction. It can be attraction or repulsion, directly proportional to product of pole strength and inversely proportional to square of the distance, inverse square law. ఓకే, సో తెలుగులో చెప్పుకోవాలంటే డైరెక్టివ్ ప్రాపర్టీ అంటే అయస్కాంతాన్ని దండాయస్కాంతాన్ని తీసుకొని స్వేచ్ఛగా వేలాడదీస్తున్నాం అనుకుందాం. అది సో నార్త్ సౌత్, ఉత్తర దక్షిణ దిశలో సో అది దిశలను చూపిస్తుంటుంది అనమాట. అలాగే అయస్కాంతాన్ని మనం బ్రేక్ చేసినాం అనుకో, యాక్సియల్ లైన్ అక్షీయ రేఖ వెంబడి సో లంబంగా కూడా మనం ఖండించినా కూడా ఆ ముక్కలు ఇండివిజువల్ పీసెస్ అనేవి అయస్కాంతాలుగా మనకు పనిచేస్తాయి అనమాట. అలాగే టైనియస్ సూక్ష్మమైన మాలిక్యులర్ లెవెల్ కూడా మనం దాన్ని ఖండిస్తే ఆ మాలిక్యూల్ ఇండివిజువల్ మాలిక్యూల్ కూడా అయస్కాంతంలాగా మనకు ప్రవర్తిస్తుంటుంది అనమాట. సో నెక్స్ట్, సో దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ మ్యాగ్నెట్. సో మ్యాగ్నెట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ రీజన్ అరౌండ్ ఇట్ that is called magnetic field, right? So the region, a space around a magnet in which its influence is felt is called magnetic field at any point. So if you consider so free north pole, the force exerted on north pole use intensity of magnetic field at that point, isn't it? So this is about, all these are familiar things, are known to us. Okay, next, what makes certain material to attract towards the magnets? What is the reason for it, right? Certain materials like iron, cobalt, nickel, they are attracted towards magnets. What makes them to attract? So one simple theory is there, Weber's theory. Initial stages, this theory was proposed, Weber's, later on developed by Ewing scientists. So according to this, so materials, all the samples, okay, they will have so molecules. So all these molecules so randomly oriented, when before it is magnetized, it is randomly oriented in all possible directions. These molecules, individual molecules in a sample, they are oriented in all possible directions, or they form a chain like this, a chain, so that net magnetic moment will be zero. Your magnetic moment, the word often will be using the magnetic moment, I represent with capital letter, the product of magnetic length and then pole strength. Here small m represents pole strength and then 2L, the magnetic length. So magnetic length usually, listen, here the poles are not exactly at the ends, it is very close to the ends. The distance between two poles, say north pole and south pole, it's called magnetic length. The line joining the two poles is called axial line. It's called axial line. Then the magnetic length is denoted by, from the center, it is L and L, this is 2L. Always you remember the magnetic length is slightly less than, magnetic length is less than original length, geometric length. Magnetic length is 5/6 times the geometric length. Actual length. Why? Because the poles not exactly at the ends, so very near, very close to the poles they are located. Even experimentally also we can confirm it. So later we'll discuss about this. This is about magnetic length. Okay, so in case of the sample, okay, before it is unmagnetized, all the molecules, molecular magnets, we can put it that manner, so they are oriented in all possible directions. So what happens? The net magnetic moment will be zero. When it is magnetized, so magnetized means keep it under the influence of magnetic field, or you take a magnet and then you just magnetize it, so move it, drag it on in one direction. All the molecules align themselves in an orderly manner like this, so that all north poles will be oriented in one direction, and of course south poles in other direction, so that it will have net south pole and north pole like this. Then this behaves like a magnet. So after magnetizing it, all the molecular magnets, they orient themselves in an orderly manner, so that net north pole and south pole are formed very close to the ends, right? Then it behaves like a magnet. This is Weber's theory, but unfortunately, so it could not explain successfully all the phenomena properties of the magnets. So mainly, see, they could not explain successfully why certain material like iron, cobalt, nickel only they show magnetic properties. Why not non-magnetic substances like wood, glass, ebony, other materials? They don't behave like magnetic materials or samples. What is the reason? They could not explain successfully. That's why this theory fails. Okay, so now coming to modern term electron theory, as we all aware know modern electron theory. So in modern electron theory, so electron theory, according to this theory, so you are familiar. So electron revolves around nucleus. Nucleus will have nucleons, protons and neutrons, and the electrons orbit, revolve around the nucleus in various non-radiating stationary orbits. You discuss a lot in atomic model, especially Bohr's atomic model. Okay, anyway, so when electron is a charged particle, so it is revolving in an orbit. We already discussed it. So revolving electron, charged particle constitute current, isn't it? So because of this current moving charge will generate magnetic field as well. Because of this, so what happens? So molecule will have two or more atoms. So each individual atom, because of revolution of the electron around the nucleus and then rotation of the electron around it, so on its own axis, because of that it will have net magnetic moment. It will develop net magnetic moment. Okay, this is modern electron theory. It could fulfill almost all the phenomenon or properties exhibited by the magnet. Okay, because of this revolution of the electron around the nucleus and then spinning of electron, it will have net magnetic moment. Net magnetic moment will be developed. Okay, because of that, certain materials will have magnetic properties, whereas non-magnetic materials, you consider there the net magnetic moment will be zero. That's why they don't behave like magnetic material. This is modern theory. We already discussed it. So now coming to the further topic, all the familiar topics. So this next one. So next concept about magnetic lines. So what is a magnetic field? Always associated with, if you have a magnet, say North Pole and South Pole, they cannot be separated out. Okay, as we already know. So then we have a region around this. So this certain region around a magnet in which its influence is felt, that is called magnetic field. Magnetic field and intensity can be well explained with the help of the concept of magnetic line of force. సో విద్యుత్ క్షేత్ర రేఖలు అనేవి ఇక్కడ అయస్కాంత క్షేత్రంలో ఫ్రీగా ఉన్నటువంటి సో ఉత్తర ధ్రువాన్ని పెట్టినప్పుడు అది ఒక పర్టికులర్ దిశలో చలిస్తుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ అనే మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ లైన్, మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ లైన్ ఆర్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ ఫోర్స్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ imaginary line or curve along which a unit north pole, free unit north pole tends to move. This is the path traversed by free unit north pole when placed in the magnetic field, that is called magnetic line of force, right? So here at any point, if you take a north pole and south pole, and then here always they diverge. They start from north pole, then end, they converge at south pole. This all the basic properties, north pole, and then they converge at south pole. And inside the magnet, so they run from south pole to north pole, forming continuous closed loops. Unlike electric line of force, there they diverge from positive charge, they converge at south pole or negative charge. They diverge from positive charge and converge at negative charge. So or they escape into space without forming closed loop. Whereas magnetic field lines, they always diverge from north pole and converge at south pole, but inside the material they run from south pole to north pole, forming a continuous closed loop. At any point, so at any point, ఏదైనా బిందు వద్ద దత్త బిందు దగ్గర గీసినట్టు స్పర్శరేఖ, ఓకే, స్పర్శరేఖ అనేది అయస్కాంత క్షేత్ర తీవ్రతను ఇస్తుంది, దిశనిస్తుంది. సో ఇట్ గివ్స్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఫీల్డ్ అట్ దట్ పాయింట్. సో ఏదైనా బిందువు దగ్గర మనం ఎనీవేర్ వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ స్పర్శరేఖ గీసామనుకోండి, ఆ స్పర్శరేఖ దిశ సో అయస్కాంత క్షేత్ర దిశను సూచిస్తుంది. అలాగే సో యూ జస్ట్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఎ సింపుల్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ పర్ఫార్మ్, ఈవెన్ అవర్ ల్యాబొరేటరీ ఆల్సో you can perform. Before that, so even in our houses also you can perform simple experiment. Just you have a ordinary bar magnet, so just you need a thin glass plate or sheet, or if you don't have, so hard paper sheet also okay, and put some iron fillings or the thin pins or something like this, and below that you keep a magnet and then gently tap that glass plate or the paper. All this iron fillings, they show some pattern, right? They align themselves in such a way. Say for example, it looks like this as a magnet, then they orient like this. So they automatically just gently tap it, all them orient themselves so that the magnetic lines will be crowded at poles and then they are slightly away, so in the middle portion. So wherever the magnetic lines, అయస్కాంత క్షేత్ర రేఖలో సో సాంద్రత ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుందో, ఎక్కువగా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఉందో, అక్కడ అయస్కాంత క్షేత్ర తీవ్రత అధికంగా ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. సో ఇఫ్ ద నంబర్ ఆఫ్ లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫోర్స్ ఇస్ మోర్, okay, then there the intensity of magnetic induction field is also proportionately more at that point. అందుకే సో ధ్రువాల దగ్గర, సో అయస్కాంత ధ్రువాల నార్త్ పోల్ సౌత్ పోల్ దగ్గర ఈ బలరేఖలు అనేవి ఎక్కువ కేంద్రీకరింపబడి ఉంటాయి. సో ఆ నియర్ టు దట్ పోల్స్ అక్కడ అయస్కాంత క్షేత్ర తీవ్రత అధికంగా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఇదే టైంలో మనము సో అయస్కాంత వాట్ ఈస్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ విల్ డిస్కస్. మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ and followed by Gauss law in magnetism. So what is a magnetic line of force? We already discussed. So it is a curve or line, so along which unit north pole tends to move, or path traversed by free north pole when placed in a magnetic field, isn't it? So here, so coming to flux and then flux density and all those things, the number of, suppose you have a closed surface, so these lines, magnetic lines of force, so cutting normally, passing normally to the closed surface, then the number of magnetic field lines passing normally through a surface is called magnetic flux. Magnetic flux. So number of magnetic lines passing normally, passing perpendicularly to that closed surface, that is called magnetic flux. It is denoted by phi. So mathematically it is written by B bar dot ds or delta s. Okay, ds is the closed, okay, we'll write delta s is the closed surface. If you take on this delta s, then the number of lines cutting through this, suppose you draw a normal n cap, so then the magnetic field B bar, then the angle between them is theta, the magnetic field, and unit vector drawn to the closed so area element surface. Okay, so then magnetic induction field is given by B delta s cos theta. It is a scalar quantity, it's a dot product, it is a scalar quantity. So you know very well scalar product, it has only magnitude, no direction. So here when theta is 0, cos 0 is 1, so the flux will be maximum, flux becomes maximum when theta is 0. For example, you have a so magnetic field is running from left to right like this, then you have a surface like this. So surface, you keep it like this, you consider small area, the normal drawn to this magnetic field and then unit vector drawn to this surface, both are in the same direction. Theta is 0, cos 0 is, so cos 0 is 1. So maximum flux is associated when the surface is like this. You rotate like this, then what happens? Though the normal drawn to the surface will be like this, magnetic field is like this, theta becomes 90 degrees, then cos 90 is 0, no flux is linked with it. You just constantly rotate in a uniform magnetic field. So what happens here in this position? So maximum flux is linked with it. In this position, theta becomes 90 degrees, so no flux or 0 flux is linked with it. Okay, this is about magnetic flux. Then flux density. So magnetic induction field, it is also called magnetic induction field, or simply we call magnetic induction. So this is denoted by B. So it is given by flux density. So flux density, it is called flux density, flux per unit area, flux per unit area, or so mathematically you can write it like this. So the magnetic lines of force passing so normally through unit surface area, through unit surface area is called flux density. It is denoted by so B, flux density. So it is measured in Webers per meter. Flux is measured in units, SI units, Weber. It is denoted by WB, Weber per meter square, or it is also called Tesla. Tesla is the unit for magnetic induction field. It is important for IP examination as well as competitive examinations. So learn it thoroughly, don't mug it up. So try to understand using or remember logically. Okay, understand and analyze. So another units also there. So if you want, so in the previous chapter, force acting on a current carrying conductor, I L B sin theta, this expression you might have learned it, derived it. So using this F by IL, if you use this, you'll get another units. So here Newton by ampere meter. This another unit, Newton ampere inverse meter inverse. This is another possible unit for magnetic induction. So first of all, you should remember magnetic flux, then the flux density, right? What is the unit for magnetic flux? This is measured in Weber. Flux density, flux associated with unit area, flux per unit area. So the number of lines passing normally through unit surface area is called flux density. It is called magnetic induction field, flux per unit area, Weber per meter square or Tesla. You'll get it in IP examination.